Hey everybody, welcome to Goldman Road. It is early in the morning, or earlier than normal for me in the morning. So I figured I would make biscuits this morning for breakfast. So I'm going to take you along on how to make biscuits. Okay, we are going to start adding our ingredients to our bowl. We're going to add in I kind of go by the seat of my pants, on measuring, but I'm going to try to do it for y'all today. So 2 cups of self-rising flour. Now my husband goes by a recipe 100%, but I don't. So what you need for biscuits is flour, a fat, and a liquid. So not hard at all. Now I have used butter, I have used lard, vegetable oil, shortening, whatever is available. This morning I just happen to have some Crisco, so we're going to add that. We're going to add probably about 1/4 cup. Okay, so we're going to add our Crisco, or our shortening. Now, like I said, everybody does biscuits differently. There's not really there is a wrong way to do biscuits, but biscuits are very, very simple. So, what we're going to do, now that we have that in there, we're going to take a fork or a pastry cutter, whichever one you prefer. I like this. And we're just going to mash that down into the flour until we kind of get it incorporated. And if I see we need to add a little more, I will. But usually the shortening or oil or whatever fat you use is usually about 1/4 cup. Now, you want your dough to kind of look grainy a little bit. That's our shortening pieces in there. That's going to make our biscuits fluffy. Okay. Now, I have just a little bit of milk. Surprise, surprise. So we're going to add that and see where we are. Now, my mama can make biscuits in one bowl. I cannot. I have to turn it out and put it all together. But a lot of people can do it in one bowl because they do a well in the middle. But to me, this is just easier. Although today, it seems like we're going to have a little extra flour, so we can get it all together. So let me get in here with my hands and see if I can get it to kind of work together into a little ball. You don't want to overwork this because you don't want a tough biscuit. And of course it sticks to me right off the bat. But that's okay, we'll get it worked around. Okay. Okay. Now we kind of, there it goes. Had a few sticky pieces on the top, but it formed all together. So we're just going to pinch our dough off of this. Let me clean up my hands just a little bit. Our stove is preheating to 475. So I've got our seasoned skillet here. I got a dog trying to eat breakfast this morning too. So let's take, and we're going to just pinch off a little bit of dough, just a dough ball. So we're going to take it, work it around. Again, don't overwork it because you don't want a tough biscuit. Now, another thing that I like to do, I like to make sure my biscuits touch. That gives them a little bit better rise. When they touch, they rise up rather than out. And I don't know if you can hear it in the back, but I've got a little bitty one here with me this morning. And she is a talker. She is supposed to be watching cartoons right now, but you know how that goes. Now, everybody has their own techniques. There's a lot of people that will roll out a biscuit. They like to cut their biscuits. You roll it out so far, and then you cut your biscuits with a biscuit cutter. This is how my mama did it. I'm not a cutter, so I like to have mine in my hand. So it looks like we're gonna get about 6 biscuits out of this, which is of course too many for us. And you know, I leave them a little tall, and then I can press them out to where they all touch. And I don't really know how to explain my technique. Okay, so we had our biscuits, and all I did was kind of press them down to where they were kind of touching. And as soon as our oven comes up to temp, we're going to put them in the oven for probably about 15-20 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, decided we would have some salmon with this. Just some boneless pink salmon. So we're going to do salmon patties, of course. So we are going to use just a little bit of flour and an egg, salt and pepper to bind all this together, and then we're going to fry them up. So let's get going on this. Okay, we got our egg. Give it a crack. There it goes. Okay. Like I said, just a little bit of flour, just to kind of help bind it together. So we'll start with that and see how that goes. Okay. I know it doesn't look very appetizing, but it will get there. I'm going to add a little bit more flour into this. And I will leave Clarence's recipe down below because, like I said, I eyeball mostly. So it's hard for me to tell you an exact recipe, but he usually goes by a recipe. Okay, I'm gonna let that, call that it. We're gonna get our skillet ready for us to drop these down in there. Oh, let me add salt and pepper. A little bit of salt, and I'm not sure where my pepper is. I'll add that in a second. Okay, we'll start dropping them in just as soon as the oil is hot. Okay, I think we're about ready to start dropping our salmon. That is the hardest word for me to say. Salmon. Salmon. Oh, the L gets me. Salmon. Yes. All right, so we're gonna, let me get a spoon. That would probably work better. Okay. So we're gonna drop these by the spoonful. kind of flatten them out a little bit because they're going to puff up. May have put just a little too much oil in my skillet, but we can, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alright, so I'm going to get 4 patties out of that, and what little I have left over, I'm just going to add it to the top of this small one right here. Kind of spread it out. Okay. And we're going to let those brown on this side, and we'll turn them over, let them brown on the other side, and they are done. Look at my clothes. Look, I need to change shirts, don't I? I have 2 I have 2 bullet holes in my shirt, it looks like. Okay, ready to flip. Let them go a little bit longer and they will be done. Our biscuits are out of the oven. Nice and fluffy. Okay, here is our plate, our salmon patty, nice and crunchy. And let me see if I can do this one-handed. Look at that. Nice and fluffy, flaky biscuit. Okay, y'all, we've had breakfast. I have had a cup of coffee. I have changed my shirt. We are ready to get this day started. So thanks for being here. Thanks for coming along with us. We really appreciate you. See you next time.